Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm going to be using the Arden Creative Studio Bin There travel collection. Specifically I'm going to use some papers from the 6x8 pad. Lots and lots of choices in there, lots of different sort of patterns, checkers and maps and tickets. So I'm going to pick a selection of those to be able to use them on this 12x12 layout. I had an idea in my head to make the pattern papers a feature. So I make myself a template. So it's a bit like an arrow or a V. So what I did is I cut some white thick cardstock, 3/4 of an inch wide, and I cut a long strip of that. And then I cut two pieces from it that were 2 3/4 inches. So I've got two identical pieces of cardstock. I lay them at right angles and I glue them on the corner. And that's how I made the template. And from that template, I cut 15 V's randomly from, I think, 5 or 6 different bits of papers. Tried to make them different. Some of the that you'll see are repeated. I'm trying not to overthink too much. It's really, really difficult if that's what the sort of brain you've got. But there's 3 that, for example, that have got orange spots on. So there's others that have got oranges in, some that have got blues in. Very good travel colours. Go with lots of photographs. But I actually wanted these arrows to be the main event. So I'm just looking at which ones they are. I want to also use the 3 blank spaces. So I'm taking the arrows quite far to the edge. I've got 2 photographs here. I'm definitely going to use those as well. So I'm just going to trim those down with the guillotine. I'm just thinking about how big the photos are. I think they're 3 by 2 inches. I'm going to have one top left, one bottom left, I think. They're both taken on a recent trip to Rome this year. And just a couple of our favourite sites. They'll go in my Italy album, this layout will. So I don't mind that there's not too much on it because other layouts are action-packed. But it just highlights our love of Italy. In the third gap, in the middle there, I'm going to use some of the wonderful laser cuts and embellishments that there are in this Been There collection. See these tags here? They're actually at the back of the 6x8 pad. So are the envelopes, and these words and shapes all came out of the 12x12 pad as well. So really good value that you've got phrases and embellishments in with the papers as well. So I've started with the round die cut there, and I'm going to add a few bits to it just as a nice cluster while I find a few bits to go behind the photo. Don't want to overdo it too much because obviously the arrows are the main attraction. So I'm just going to, and I also want to keep some white space. It's busy. I know it's busy. It is what it is. But I do want to have some calm feeling as well. I'd also recommend that you check out this collection and more in the Hey Little Magpie store. There's new products being added all the time. Hey Little Magpie exclusives as well as well-known collections as well. So always worth keeping an eye and keep checking in. So I mentioned these photos were taken in Rome. I was very lucky to see England v Italy in the rugby back in February, and that's when these pictures were taken. Even though I'm only in shirt sleeves, it was February or the end of Feb, but it's still not what you'd be wearing here. But we had some wonderful weather while we were there, so got a chance to do some of the old touristy stuff that we've done before, but always makes us smile. Also get to eat an ice cream. Got to be done when you're in Italy, really. So this layout is literally coming together as we speak. I did stick the V's down off camera. Didn't think you needed to see that. I've only used a little bit of double-sided tape on the points so that actually they don't look completely stuck. There's a little bit of feels like movement to them. I also gave them a distress around the edge, which I don't think I mentioned earlier. And that was mainly to get rid of my pencil lines for when I drew them, because some of the papers I drew on the back, but some of them were too dark. So I actually drew on the front on the bits that I wanted. But when I knew I was going to scuff the edges, it didn't really matter. saves you rubbing it all out. It's too much effort really. So I'm just checking there. I obviously haven't stuck these bits down. I've tried to mirror some of the embellishments on both of the photographs. So they've both got a phrase that's got a stripy edge, and they've both got a couple of stamps and a heart. I just think it gives some continuity as well. There's also a heart on the cluster, or there will be on the right as well, just so there's a bit of a flow around the page. So just time now for some last minute tweaks. There's like some enamel dots in this range. They're not made of enamel, but you know what I mean. And I'm just adding, in fact, the hearts I use are from that. And I decide I'm going to add some twine to the tags I've put on the right. And I forget how hard it is to make twine look good. Is it just me? Is there a technique? If there's something you know, a secret, add it to the comments, because I really could do with knowing it, because it doesn't half. I love the way it looks on other people's layouts, but boy, do I struggle to get it to look nice for me. But maybe it's because it was all wound up before and it's all you know what I mean. Anyway, this is the finished layout. Thank you so much for watching and joining me again. Check out this range and more at the Hey Little Magpie store. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.